Caleb Swanigan is on a tear. He went ballistic Wednesday night to the tune of 32 and 20. 32 points, 20 rebounds. That makes it back-to-back games he's had 20 rebounds and 20 points or more. A week ago, the talk was about how improved he's been this year. By now, Sean, he's becoming nationally relevant as a talent.
I had the opportunity to see their game prior to the Norfolk State game. They played at home on Monday versus Western Illinois, and he put up one of those 2020 performances, which was impressive in its own right. But, Mike, the thing that really stood out to me, he's far and away their best player. He's a National Player of the Year candidate without question. But what impressed me about that game, they had a big lead, there's a loose ball, and he hit 6'9", 6'8", whatever he is, big guy, first guy on the floor to dig it out with really nothing to gain. And I think what that has shown me is that he understands that as the best player, if he gets that fourth of effort, he's going to bring everybody else along with him. And of all the things that he's done this year, that has impressed me as much as anything. And he has not shied away from that mantle. He's embraced it. The job he did in the second half, along with his teammates against Notre Dame, digging out of that 17-point hole, was nothing short of miraculous because they were dead. I mean, it was over, and they just kept chipping away, and it was his tangible production, but his intangibles, to me, are just as impressive.
And you talk about effort with him. You know, the one statistic they say in basketball that is most reliant on effort is rebounds. If you want it more, you'll get more of them. He has only 2 games this year where he has not gone double digits in rebounds. And he got 8 and 9 rebounds in those 2 games.
Slacker. What a slacker. But if you watch him when the ball goes up, and a lot of it is, and he's athletic, but he's not the most athletic guy you're going to find. He's not going to play consistently above the rim. But if you notice when the shot goes up, he is looking, if he's on the defensive end of the floor, he is looking for another different colored jersey to put a body on and then go get it. And offensively, he makes sure if there is someone coming toward him to attempt to block him out, he doesn't allow it to happen. He moves, he understands angles, and yes, jumping high certainly helps. He is not the greatest athlete you're going to see, but his effort and the fact that he has that mindset, to your point, Mike, that he feels that every rebound that comes off should be his. And in the early going, he's almost accomplished that feat.
Right, yeah. You know, that graphic we just showed, I think, is fascinating because that kind of gets to the main point of us talking about him in this way right now. He's up there in that one category with Tim Duncan, with Blake Griffin. I mean,
whatever happened to those guys?
They did okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there it is again. Look at that. Dwan Blair, Michael Beasley. These are 20 and 20 leaders. And this millennium, the last 20 years, it goes back that far. And maybe not yet has it reached people outside of West Lafayette, but it is about to.
Yeah.
This guy's not going anywhere all year.
And we talked about, you know, the 10 double-doubles in 13 games. I mean, think about that. You know, just the percentages of that. And again, this is a guy that put the time in. He was about a 10, 11-point a game scorer. Now, he did lead the conference in rebounding a year ago as a true freshman. He had a really good freshman year. And a lot of times people will say, well, you know what? Maybe I'm not going to put. He put the time in and then some. And it was noticeable in June when they were preparing to go over to their trip to Spain. He looked like a different player. He had a demeanor of a different player. He was more confident, shot the ball better, and more importantly, he was just a tremendous teammate. And the effort he showed, you could tell. When you have that guy that's doing that and he's your best player, other players don't have any choice but to come along. Because if he's willing to do it, there's no way that if you're coming in off the bench that you shouldn't give that and then some.
10 points and 8 boards was last year. 18 points and 12 boards this year. I mean, talk about, listen, everybody's a different scenario, but talk about a poster boy for coming back for one more year here in the NBA. It's having them say, maybe you're not quite yet, maybe it's not going to be the best pick. Guess what? I can come back, improve in the offseason, be motivated. He's skyrocketing up those draft lists now.
It really is, and I think that it hurt everybody in Purdue to have that game against Little Rock slip away. I don't think it hurt anybody more than this young man. And I think that as much as the individual accolades are going to come his way, and deservedly so, you can tell by watching him play. He's a very quiet guy. You know, he's not a very demonstrative guy, but this is something that he hungers and he burns to win. And you don't make the plays that I saw him make going on the ball, for a loose ball, on the floor in a game that's out of reach unless that really means something to you.
He's living up to his nickname, Biggie, indeed.